There you go, friends. Doc South here. And I was just thinking it was one of my dearest friends' birthday yesterday. And I knew about it, but I knew that I couldn't just come on and do a haphazard, birthday greeting on my for my YouTube site for him because it a 30-second spot there just wouldn't do it. No, this person's way too complex and a wonderful, wonderful person. Reminds me a lot of, in fact, had this person, my friend Dan Hollis is his name, Dan, if he had met my father at a younger age, if my father was younger and Dan was just a little bit older at that particular moment, they would have ruled the earth. Yep, they would have had joining offices at probably some skyscraper in Manhattan that they picked up, for with some of their spare change. I can hear my father in one office saying, buy it," and Dan saying, sell it, buy it, no, sell it," and I can see them now. Me running in between offices, trying to keep track of all the money they were earning, shoveling it into a bin down in the basement. It's true. Such Dan actually does remind me of my father. My father was if he had something he had thought up that he could sell or a service he could provide, he was dedicated to that kind of, to pushing it, getting it in, doing it, and getting more customers. What are you doing sitting around just working? You should be trying to get more customers too. Yeah, sweep that floor with one hand, dial another prospect with the other. It's that kind of thing. You can do the book work with your feet. Yeah, okay, yes, sir. And and Dan pretty much the same thing. But it was Dan's birthday, and I was just thinking of how influential he was in helping me with the radio work I once did. He was, I guess, he just admired, for as near as I can tell, admired the work I did on the radio and the loose format I kind of had, and he saw that as a chance to really get some good shows on for the public. I mean, yeah, I know the shows I used to do at WRNJ. I hope people don't think I found all those great guests. People like Paul Winchell, Jerry Mahoney, Ben Franklin. No, a Ben Franklin impersonator or two. Thomas Jefferson. Now, I didn't. Or like when a White Castle opened up in the town I broadcast out of, Hackettstown. I think it was Dan got me down there to do a live remote. I ate one of the first hamburgers out of that place. That particular opening day. Stuff like that. He was just always finding these things and selling ads, of course, for the station. He kept it very busy. Often would have me do live remotes from maybe some place like Godlewski Greenhouses, or again the White Castle, Mama's Restaurant. I think I did a live one there every now and then. Name a store, and chances are I did a remote, and he was always there to help. But when I think about it, I mean, even like I'd come into the station, and I'd always leave about a half hour's worth of time for in the show for Dan's project du jour. And some days he'd really amaze me. Maybe he found someone wrote a book. I know one day he told me, "Doc, I got the number 2 man at Disney World wants to be on your show for a half hour. Can you do it?" I said, "Well, I think we can do it for an hour, Disney World. Gosh. Okay, an hour will be. I'll call him back." And, it was, it was And I'd be on with these people. And it was just, and I guess people, oh, if I had a contest on my station, maybe the best, I'd tell, I'd send me your recipes for your best casserole ever. And, I'd pick five of the best casseroles, and, we get a fair amount of people writing in. And then I'd invite the ladies with the five best sounding casseroles to come in, and we'd have a contest, see who, an eating contest, to see with judges and everything, to decide which casserole was the best. If it was a tie between two casseroles, well, we'd bring Roxy, our basset hound, in, and Roxy, we'd put the two tying casseroles on the floor, and whichever one Roxy went to first was the winner. And they get some nice prizes. I mean, it was, and I think Dan thought that one up. It was just amazing. He helped me with my internet station to put it together, and always up for an interview, for me to interview. I know one time I was talking about Amtrak, and he says, "God, if we could get the Amtrak account, wow, we could probably get free rail travel." And next, he's on the phone with, somehow he got up to the, got all the way up to the, one of the grand poobahs of Amtrak. Next thing you know, I got the guy on the air. Huh? Yeah. And it was great because I love Amtrak. And it was fantastic. What a great interview with the guy, hearing all about it. And, but yeah, sometimes the impersonators of historical figures would be on my show. I even interviewed once, and it was great. It was a fellow who portrayed a slave in Williamsburg, Virginia. And it was fantastic. And a real touching interview, I thought. And that brought people, that gave people an idea. Hey, I know where to go for a vacation. Williamsburg, colonial Williamsburg. Right. It was amazing. So many people with new businesses. Dan would find them, and I'd get to promote their business. It was, but again, a lot of that wasn't me. I wouldn't think to know what to do. Case in point, one day when it was still Sonny's Driving, before the Chatterbox became the Chatterbox, I was DJing there one night, and turns out no one knew it. No one knew it, but Robert De Niro was there having an ice cream cone and I guess a root beer float, and maybe a hot dog with a couple of guys. They were out searching for locations, and they saw the Chatterbox and dropped in. And I wound up, no one in the crowd at Sonny's Drive-In, it was then, noticed that it was De Niro, but it was. And he comes over and starts talking with me with his head kind of in the shadows, so people wouldn't, get wise and storm the DJ booth. De Niro was a great guy. I remember we talked for a good half hour and just had a ball. And I told Dan about this, and he says, "You actually got to talk to De Niro?" I said, yeah, he's a nice guy. He says, "Did you get his card?" I said, "God, think of the work he could give you. You could be in one of his movies." I said, "Well, I didn't think to get a card." What? Dan went out of his mind. He says, you had to have gotten a card." No, in fact, he was out of them. He was going to give me one, and then he said he didn't have any. So I just left it at that. And he and his entourage went on. Oh, he says, "Man, Doc, God, okay, I'm going to..." Next, for an hour, Dan's drilling through the phone, through the phone lines to get through to De Niro. And he got about as close as, I guess, his publicity agent, and explained the situation. And I don't know. I've not been in any De Niro movies that I know of. But Dan tried, and he just couldn't believe I didn't get a card. Yeah, but I didn't. But that's the kind of a guy Dan is, and it was his birthday yesterday, and I just thought I'd knock this out because you know it's kind of hard to find people that are overly enthusiastic anymore, and they're a treasure when you find them. Really, they are. Um, it's kind of like how I felt when I did radio. Enthusiasm was the way to go, and I don't know if that happens much anymore. I guess it does a little, but anyway, good old Dan. It's his. It was his birthday again. I don't know. I don't know if he's 110 or 115 this year. I don't know. Um, he's a little bit younger than me. Yeah. Anyway, Dan, God bless, and I hope you had a really cool birthday. Bless your heart. We'll see you later. God bless. Bye now, friends.